You have my condolences. Your father was a good man. More than anyone else, I dare say. Certainly enough to know they're the greatest threat the capital Wasteland has ever faced. The Brotherhood of Steel has encountered the Enclave before, you see. Over 30 years ago, back in California. Then they were led by a President Richardson. Now we've got this Eden to contend with. It matters not now, as before they seek to control and destroy. All in the guise of restoring order. Your father, I fear, was just the beginning. Why, yes. Yes, indeed, there is someone. Our intrepid Paladin Gunny trains all initiates in the use of power armor. When they're ready. Under the circumstances, I will allow Gunny to train you as well. You'll find him in the Bailey. I will send word that I've given my approval. The Brotherhood is an old organization going back to the years just after the war. We are but a part of it. What would you like to know? It's been over 20 years since we arrived, and we've been struggling to contain and eradicate the super mutants for nearly as long. With the arrival of the Enclave, I have a terrible feeling the super mutants are the least of our worries. The Brotherhood began on the West Coast, and exists there still. We were dispatched to this location many years ago. In truth, the Brotherhood of Steel has been struggling for years, both here and back home. Honor, truth, courage. These virtues seem to have little meaning in these troubled times, I'm afraid. Ah, now, that's the real question, isn't it? Our orders were, and are, to acquire any and all advanced technology, and we have, to the best of our abilities. But when I realized the extent of the super mutant threat, I felt it was my responsibility to aid the people in their struggle against them. Unfortunately, my superiors back west disagree with my assessment of the situation. They feel I've grown too attached to the local populace. And they're right. In any event, the Enclave's arrival changes everything. So be it. What more did you want to know? Would you believe no? It's pathetic, really, considering we've been fighting those abominations for nearly 20 years. In all that time, all we've managed to do is to contain the threat, hold them back so they don't overrun every blasted settlement out here. But we don't really know anything. Where they're from, why they've infested the DC ruins. And now here we are, holed up in our Citadel. Low on resources, low on troops. It's enough to make an old man so very tired. Of course.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Neat. Initiate, you've got a lot of nerve to interrupt. Oh, my apologies, stranger. I thought you were one of these worthless initiates. I swear these kids would be lost without me here to powder their asses. Killing unarmed civilians makes me sick. Come over here. Try fighting someone who shoots back. Fucking cowards. Why do you think I ride these initiates so hard? I make training hell, so fighting those uglies won't be. I am charged with the duty of turning these maggots into brothers of steel. With the threat of the Enclave, they're likely going to be pressed into service before they've taken the oath. So I've got a lot of work to do. Heard you were coming. Yeah, I can train you, but don't ask me to like it. My initiates sweat blood, and you just get a free pass? Anyway, you ready for this? Now look, to wear power armor, first thing you need to do is relax your muscles. Let the suit do the work, okay? Now you. What aid can I offer you, outsider? Damn initiates.
I think I understand what you're saying, sir. When I calm down and focus, I don't see anything but the target.
You're not quite as worthless as you look. Remember, if you overthink combat, you're dead. You have to want to survive more than your enemy. Enough job, maggot. Back to work.
About that, are you still having that issue with the head laser? I think the term you used was invariably destructive.
Yes. And I told you that in order to compensate for last Thursday's mishap, there would be some complications. I'm dealing with it.
Rothschild, old friend, you're a brilliant technician. But this old man's patience is wearing thin. I want a full status report in 3 hours.
All right, all right. I'll see what I can do. Outsiders in this... May I start by saying that I am sorry for your loss. I was acquainted with your father many years ago. The world has lost one of its few remaining visionaries. I have been a part of the Brotherhood for many years, enough that I was here when Project Purity first began. I did not work directly with your father. He and his team valued their independence, and I respected that. Think nothing of it. Now, Dr. Lee has explained your predicament. You need to locate some Vault-Tec equipment. A G.E.C.K? Goodness no, certainly not. I must say that there are some who doubt such a device really exists, let alone works. If, however, you share your father's determination, I may be able to assist you in locating one. Possibly. I'm afraid I won't be able to assist you directly. The news Dr. Lee has brought will require me to be elsewhere. I can, however, give you access to an old pre-war computer from Vault-Tec. It may have the information you need.
You'll find the terminal in the archives in the A-Ring.
You are welcome. If you require further assistance, I may be able to help. I'm afraid I have other duties to attend to right now. If you find the computer to be helpful, there may be more I can offer. I am, and have been since we first found him well over 20 years ago. Liberty Prime is the designation we found on file for him. Magnificent, don't you think? At least he will be once all systems are operational. It's the energy consumption. Something that big with such advanced weapon systems. We just don't have the means to power it. Not yet. Not really. No. He was developed as a superweapon back in the days before the war. The first joint operation between RobCo and General Atomics International. Apparently, he was meant to help liberate Alaska from the Chinese, but was never completed. They were forced to go in without him. They won, but suffered heavy losses. If we can get him up and running, well, I think you get the idea. I'm afraid you're asking the wrong person. Predominantly because the Elder won't like some of what I have to say. But fine, I'll discuss it. What do you want to know? The Brotherhood of Steel is bigger than what you see here. We're only a small division, you could say. But that's a bit of a sore subject around here. The West Coast, unless something has changed. There's been no contact with them for the last several years. There's also a small detachment in Chicago, but they're off the radar. Gone rogue. Long story. Indeed it is, especially when they refuse any attempts at communication. What do you want to know? Well, that depends on who you ask. Lions will tell you it's because we're protecting the poor, innocent people of the capital Wasteland. Most others here will tell you the same thing. They'll do anything for that man. No, not everyone. But for a variety of reasons, those who disagree are no longer with us. And so you go. What was the result of the latest scan?
Hey, be more. It appears the Enclave troops have moved beyond the Purifier into the surrounding wasteland. Tell me how far they might spread.
Quartermaster Durga here, stranger. I have to say, I'm not sure what you're doing in my armory. We run a tight ship, and unless Elder Lion says so, we don't trade with outsiders. Quartermaster out.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation Liberty. I cannot, I will not allow the Enclave to control the one thing that could bring even the slightest spark of hope to these people.
The Brotherhood
Project
is at your
Purity
service.
would mean millions of gallons of pure, clean water for the people of the capital Wasteland. James never got the damn thing to run. Neither did we, for that matter. But the Enclave, if they controlled that much clean water, they would control the entire capital Wasteland. I simply cannot allow that to happen.
Hail.
I need to collect my wits and figure out what to do next.
Hail.
Finding your way about all right? Yes? Ah, yes. Everyone asks about the robot. Hard not to, I admit. His name is Liberty Prime. Very patriotic. Built by a very proud nation during a very desperate time. We've had about as much success getting him working as they did. You should speak with Scribe Rothschild. He can tell you more. Of course.
Need something, friend? I have those results you asked for. I sent them over to your station. Remember that secret android project I told you about? Well, they got some serious pre-war tech on their hands.
Be more careful.
They nabbed a lipoplasticator and a microdermal graftalizer for the facial reconstruction. Not sure where they'll find a chopper with enough skills to use it without making him look like a freaking ghoul. Oh, and get this. Can you believe they found a circuit neuralizer? That or someone built one. Word is that they're going to completely rewire the brain of one of those things. If you know who they got working on this, let me know. I want to meet the guy.
I understand the... But you'll need to make do the best you can. Our weapons mutants can't penetrate that enclave armor, we stand no chance.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Need something, friend?
Welcome. Friend?
And attempts to make contact have been met with silence. So if you're out by Grey Ditch, you may want to pop in and see. Thanks for listening, children. This is Three Dog. Ow! And you're listening to Galaxy News Radio.
If you have a moment, Scribe Rothschild.
What is it, Owen? The robot isn't going to fix itself.
About that, are you still having that issue with the head laser? I think the term you used was invariably destructive.
We've been over this. A slight modification to one system and all the subroutines go haywire. Don't worry, I'm on it.
I come to you for results, not excuses, Rothschild. That robot could mean the difference between victory or defeat against the Enclave.
All right, all right. I'll see what I can do. Did you have any success with that old terminal? Ah, Well, that much I believe I can help with. Step over here for a moment. I'll show you where it is. Follow me. I'll show you what I can about Vault 87.
So, what's the latest report?
This map shows the locations of all known vaults in the local area. Vault 87 has been highlighted for you. There. Entrance to Vault 87 will be particularly difficult for you, I'm afraid. The area is highly irradiated. Lethal levels are all around the entrance. Gaining direct access will be quite impossible. Quite simply, you don't. To attempt such a thing would be certain death for you. You share your father's determination, it seems. And in this case, you are correct. There may well be another way. Vault 87 is located very close to the site of Lamplight Caverns. It is entirely probable that the vault may be entered from within the caves. Attempts were made, but our resources are stretched thin. The radiation proved fatal, and so our efforts were focused elsewhere. Perhaps you will have more success. I wish we could do more, but the Brotherhood potentially faces a very pressing, very real threat in the Enclave. All of my efforts must now be devoted to assessing the threat they may pose to us. I'm sure you understand.
Fully online. I'm looking into what might be causing the leak.
So, what's the latest report?
Enclave troops have fortified the Purifier complex. With those vertibirds, they're able to transport personnel at a remarkable rate.
All right. Thanks for the information.
Hail to you. By the traction of hospitality and on the word of Elder Lyons, I welcome you to the Citadel. I am Star Paladin Cross, Keeper of the Arm, and Seneschal to Elder Lyons. And I am honored to say I was acquainted with your father. Now, what may I do to help you? I did, and you as well. Long ago, I helped guard the water purifier against the super mutant horde. When your father left, I escorted the two of you to Megaton. He was a noble man. I was saddened to hear of his passing. But from what I've heard, he died with honor. He died for you. I only pray that my own death has such meaning. And so our deeds are carried on through our sons and our daughters. Continue to remember him fondly. Continue to tell his story. And continue to do his work. Through you, he shall carry on. But now I must ask you a difficult question, if I have your leave to do so. I escorted your father across the wastes. It was the best I could contribute to his efforts to restore fresh water to the people. I would like the honor of escorting you in your journey to complete his work. As a Star Paladin, I answer only to Elder Lyons. He has given me leave to pursue the restoration of Project Purity, as I see fit. By aiding you in your travels, I shall fulfill that mission as best I am capable. As James's child, I know I don't need to explain, but I am not your servant. If I do not like the path your actions take, I will return here. Now, let us go forward. Crush the Enclave, and fulfill your father's mission. Hail.
Remember, children, when the raiders come, there ain't no shame in locking your doors, barricading the windows, and
Yes. What do you require?
when these psychos come to play, they have one thing on
In the words of Elder Theus, a brother well equipped is a brother keeping to his duty. Lead the way.